Hey, welcome in everybody to Launchpad Reseller Podcast, where we are your mission control for all things reselling. Whether you've been selling for 20 minutes or 20 years, we're sure there's something that we can learn together. We are joined today by a legend in the making, Shisha244. I'm just kidding.
That's why
I'm
I
just,
looked the wrong way.
I'm just kidding. He's a self-professed Saturday morning cartoon kid who is reliving his childhood through social media and also reselling. And we're privileged enough to be tagging along the way. And I can't say enough about the content you're creating, Jimmy. Welcome into the podcast. How are you, sir?
Welcome.
I'm great. Thank you so much. That was awesome. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I'm doing great. Living the dream, the reseller
Good.
dream.
It's awesome. And we're joined by our co-hosts today, Tennessee Treasures and She Shed 244, Ashley and Ellie. And we want to talk about toys, Jimmy. We want to talk about all things toys. But before we get there, though,
Yep.
we got to learn more about you, Jimmy. Why don't you tell us
All right.
all about yourself?
I got you guys want to do? You got to ask me questions, or you want me to just ramble on and I'll ramble?
I want
on?
you to ramble on, Jimmy. I want you to go way back, though. I want you to
Okay.
go back to 1984, Jimmy.
1980.
I want to talk about John 1980 because it's going to tell the tale, I think. Because I think a lot of what you're doing now maybe might speak to that guy.
84. So I would have been I would have been living in the Bay Area of Northern California,
Wow.
Hayward, California. Part-time pickers is from Hayward, California, by the way.
Okay.
I grew up in Hayward, California. My mom worked at Kmart, so I got all the good toys off of layaway.
Yes.
So that has a lot
Oh,
to do with my toy. Every Christmas was a layaway Christmas, and we got all the good toys. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna go year by year, so it's gonna take forever. So if you're watching,
No,
I'm
no, do it.
I'm
Let's do
totally
it.
joking.
Let's go.
Then in the '90s, I lived in Arizona. I was born in Arizona, but I was raised in California. But then when I was at like 11, we moved to Arizona. So I spent the '90s in high school and all that stuff in Arizona. And then I just kind of been moving around the country.
Yeah, where are you at now, Jimmy?
I'm in Ohio now. Don't ask.
Oh, that's a good area to be picking.
It's great. That's part of why. It's honestly one of the main factors of why I'm out here. Is
Okay.
the picking and the cost of living and all, and to be able to do eBay full time without the stresses of bills and honestly a lot more competition. I was in Denver before this, and the competition was crazy. I found stuff, but it was nuts. And you also didn't find as many older and generational homes in that area.
Hmm.
So this is out here. It's been awesome. It's been awesome.
Yeah, you come across some really cool stuff.
Yeah. When I moved here, if you've been following me, when I moved here, I had no toys in my toy collection.
That's insane. Because
I
you
had,
have
I
so
had
much.
none. I had some new in the package stuff, modern stuff, but I did not have any vintage toys in my toy collection when I moved to Ohio.
Wow.
Almost 3 years ago, and now I have a crazy collection. So that's kind of gives you the idea of what it's like out here.
Hmm.
So we were talking off camera a little bit about like we came up around the same time.
Yep.
You know, early or late 70s, early 80s. It was just hit different. It was a different time to be alive, and the nostalgia you're bringing through your content is
Yep.
definitely appreciated, man. So I can't say enough about that. It just brings it's like a time warp sometimes. So good. The nostalgia is just nonstop. It's just awesome. It's so good to see that coming back.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that?
I said I'm a 90s kid, so I'm learning a lot about, the stuff that came a little bit before. It's a good teaching content too.
Oh wow! And I'm an '80s baby, so I'm like, yes, I know the '80s. I know earlier than that and the '90s, but yeah, all the '80s. Oh my gosh,
It's
That's-
fun. Like, so I paid attention. Like, so I have two boys that are in their mid 20s, early 20s. So like, it's crazy that the stuff that they played with does really well too. Like my oldest like the Power Rangers, and because I paid attention to what he played with and the stuff that he was buying, and I know that stuff really well too, and that helped me a lot when I first started going into toys like Bionicles, Ben 10, Beyblades, like all the stuff that my boys they do well also. So I was like, man, I know the '80s stuff, and I know the '90s stuff, and I know the early 2000s stuff. So like I have I have to go to toys. Like toys is the way I have to. I slowly shifted towards selling more toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about your reselling, how that started, because obviously you didn't grow up selling, or did you?
I did
Were you
not,
always a
not at
hustler,
all.
or?
I've told this story a long time ago on a live years ago. I was not. I actually hated thrifting. I hated everything. I didn't know about reselling. I didn't really. I can verify that I was that person that didn't even know this was a thing. Like it didn't even register to me that this world out here of reselling existed. Because 8 years ago, I was selling my kids' PlayStation 2s at yard sales. Like I had no idea. Like I know for a fact we sold my kids' PlayStation 2 and games at a yard sale for probably dirt cheap because I didn't, it wasn't even a thing I really even knew existed. So I was a mechanic before this. I had some medical things. I had to retire as a mechanic, so I went into customer service and answering mechanical calls on the phone, and I hated it. I hated it for the. And I went to quit. I'll try to tell this. I went to quit, and the company I was working for, they're like, "Well, before you quit, we have an eBay store. You want to try to run that instead of answering the phones? You can answer all the messages over there and handle all the logistics and all the shipping and everything on the eBay store." I was like, "Sure, I'll give it a try." I was really good at it. I helped their store grow. They actually, I actually helped their sales improve. I kept their, their feedback 100%, all that stuff. And so they were like, "We're going to send you to the eBay Open to learn more about eBay." So they sent me to Vegas to the eBay Open to learn more about eBay. What they didn't know is the eBay Open was nothing but a bunch of resellers at the eBay Open. So when I went there, that's when I learned about everybody that I talked to about why I was there. They're like, "Why are you here? Like, go home and start your own eBay store. Like, stop working for that company and go home." And I was listening and paying attention. So I went home. The first thing I did when I got home was open my own eBay store and started going to thrift stores. And that was 2018. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's how I got started. And I already had all the eBay skills. Like I knew eBay inside and out for doing it. I did it for a year for that company, and I did $1 million plus a year sales for that. So I was logistics, everything of it, stuff was flying out the door. So I knew everything about it inside and out, answering questions. I'd come into work to 20 questions every day. So like when it came to mine, it was easy. It was like, this is easy mode compared to what I was doing for that company. So yeah.
So how long from that eBay Open and you opening your own store to you leaving that job?
Going
Like-
full time.
Yeah.
The eBay Open was in July. It was hot. Early August or late July. I remember it was by the next February I was full time.
Okay, so about 6 to 8
February of
months.
2019.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. I wanted it really bad. I wanted to go full time really bad. So I actually, when I was working and my wife was working, we were all, the bills were fine. I was like, every dime I make on eBay, I'm saving, so I can go full time. So I didn't. Every dime I sold, I didn't. Some people pay car payments or they pay college. Mine was like, I'm building a foundation. I'm going to build a foundation for my business and I saved every penny for that whole time, so I could go full time because I wanted to go full time. So
That's amazing.
because I did not like the customer. I mean, I just didn't like working in customer service.
I can't imagine why.
I'm not built. I was a mechanic. Like I was not built for that. I was like in a shop, we just yell back at each other.
Yeah, I worked customer service for years.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
I get it.
And
Face to face. So
Oh yeah,
That's the worst.
yeah.
I couldn't do that. Mine was phone, and that was bad enough.
Mhm.
That phone would ring, and I'd be like, I don't want to answer it, but you have to.
Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? 90% of the time, it's bad.
Yeah. Do you even ask yourself? I mean, you expect the worst.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of had a disagreement with my boss one day, and I was like, it was close. I wasn't quite ready, but we had a big disagreement, and it was like, I told him, I'm just gonna quit, and he was like, and these words what really helped me a lot was these words were, I use these as ammunition. He said to me, "I think you're making a huge career mistake leaving us to run your eBay store full time. And I was like, okay.
Bet.
And that was the best decision I've ever made. It was.
Thanks for the fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I did not look back. Being able to pick Thursday, Fridays, go out every single Monday, go out picking every day if I wanted to. And I already had that nice cushion, that nice capital that I had built. It's been nothing but full speed ahead ever since that day. 100% no slowdown other than the move to Ohio.
Yeah.
So did you start off selling toys?
I did not. I was your typical, just
Everything.
bread and butter type name brand clothing. If I could find a TI-84 calculator, a lot of electronic, the DVD combos. It was easier to find video games back then. It's obviously it's changed a lot in just the 7 years I've been doing this. Like, it was a lot easier to find video games and consoles back then. So I did a lot of video games and stuff. I know we can still find them, but it was a lot easier back then.
I dread video games. I hate testing stuff.
Yeah, I still love them, and they're hard to find, but I still love to flip them.
Yeah.
And it's
I
such
give them
good
away when I
fun.
find them. Honestly, I'm just
Huh?
like, I don't want to deal with them. I give them to other people that sell them. I'm like,
Really,
here you go.
I enjoy it.
I'm just like, here.
Yeah,
You're like, it's
you
a
got my-
$100 game, but I'm like, yeah.
You got my information. You know how to message. No, it's such a good feeling finding them. Like, it's one of the biggest rushes I still get when I find good video games. I still get such a good rush out of that. So that's part of the enjoyment of this, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
It's the hunt.
yeah. Toys are now number one. When I find good toys, that is the ultimate rush. But video games are still really high up there.
Mhm.
Or, if I find a TI-84 that's $1 out of yard, so I'm,
No brainer.
yeah, I'm still excited, but it's not the same rush. Yeah, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Would you rather find the calculator or the book that explains how to use the calculator?
Is that a bolo?
I
Right.
think so.
Is it? I don't
I
even
think
I
so
didn't know about
because
that
those
one.
things those books can be up there in price because when you really think about how complicated that thing can be for someone that's just getting into the use of it, it's like, how do I program this
You
thing?
know
What
how
are you
to
gonna
use
do?
that thing. When I got one, I'd go grab one of my boys who was in high school. Can you test this for me? Let me know if it
Yeah.
works.
Can you do some sort of calculation for me?
Yeah, I'm like, I just push 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, the whole screen with ones.
Spell hello on the calculator. Like
That's
you
what
did
I was
when you were,
thinking.
10 years old.
It works.
Yep.
Yep,
That's fun.
that's funny. Yeah,
So
yeah.
you
I was a
kinda
bread and butter seller for sure. Though. That's how I started.
Yeah, I was gonna say you sound like you were selling everything, and which kind of makes sense when you were talking about. And guess what? You got to be trained to learn how to do eBay,
I was
or you got to be
paid.
paid for it. Yeah,
And then
Paid and
they
trained.
they paid for their demise.
Pretty
Because they
much.
sent me the
Yeah.
eBay open. They
Right.
paid for that whole. I'm in Vegas. They paid for the whole trip, and I'm like
yeah.
learning how to resell.
Oh
I
man.
I don't remember the name of I met a couple there, and they're the ones that educated me on it a lot. I don't even remember their names or anything. That's terrible, but I don't.
If for
They're
some
the
odd
ones
reason they're watching, make sure you hit up Old School Flips and remind him because he he needs some help.
Yeah.
I know, Jimmy. I know. It's hard
I
to
get it.
remember everything along the way.
Yep.
For sure. That's crazy.
I'm trying to think because the way I got into toys, I try to it used to be a YouTube channel. They haven't done a channel in forever, and their name was really weird. So like when I explained it, there was a couple, and the guy used to wear like spy glasses, and that's how he recorded his footage at garage sales. And their name was literally like Down and Dirty Pickers, like that was their name. And I started watching they don't make videos anymore. I don't even know if I can find. I haven't looked for their channel. It might still be out there. I think it was it's kind of a crazy name, right? But I watched a lot of their videos early on. Like, this couple's buying all the toys they come across, and they're putting up comps that like make sense. And that's when I started looking. They're the ones that started me looking at toys. Their videos got me looking at them and thinking about buying them and looking them up at garage sales. Because we were all that person standing at a garage sale with our phone. I was definitely doing that. And man, it didn't take long for me to get into toys after that and go as my main focus. Yeah.
You just find them everywhere. Toys are so. I mean, They're everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. And again, like, in the bin, when I do go to the bins, there's the little people figures all throughout those bins. I just keep a tub, and I buy every single one.
My wife, she'll buy them wholesale.
Yeah, and
She
then
loves them.
because that's what I do. When I get like 30 of them, that's when I grab the tub and I dump it on my picture table and I stand them all up, and it's going out the door as a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's up right there. Yeah, my wife is an avid seller and collector of little people. If you
Okay.
didn't know, she sells them on Whatnot. Her handle is Fiona's Finds. We all sell those little people, though. I mean, Ellie does, and
Yeah.
so does Ashley.
They're hot
So,
right now.
They're
Mhm.
really
Oh, yeah,
hot. Like,
they're-
they're the one to be out looking for sure.
Yep.
There's all over TikTok. That's why, Jimmy. If you haven't
Really,
noticed,
They're
Yeah,
viral. Yes.
all the young mamas that are coming up right now, it's all
Mhm.
about them little people.
I need to get back on there then.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got rid of my TikTok because it was feeding me stuff that I didn't want. You know how it does.
You
they
gotta
try to
help
put
the
you in a
algorithm.
box. They try to put you in a box, Jimmy. It's
Yeah,
always,
I thought I had control of my algorithm, but it had control of me, and so I was like, we need a break.
Yeah.
And then I actually had a lot of success putting out videos. I went viral on TikTok twice, but one hit for 2.5 million. That's my best
Yo,
ever.
that's amazing.
Wow.
What was it
But
about?
I didn't make any money on it because it's what got me to monetize.
Yeah.
But I had friends across the country messaging me like, did you just come across my TikTok? People that didn't really know what I did or whatever,
Yeah.
they just recognized, and I'm not in the video, but they recognized my voice, and then they were like, was that you that was buying that Mickey Mouse out of that garage? And I was like, yep.
Let's talk about your voice. Let's talk about your voice for a second, because I think that's partly, but other than your smooth, good looking self,
Here we
your
go.
voice now, Jimmy. Your voice is, I think,
keep
what.
feeding the ego.
Yeah, I know. Right? I'm gonna keep on fanning the
Ew.
flames here. It's getting hot in here. But anyways, Jimmy froze because he's so hot. He just froze the camera.
I gotta keep
but
the,
let's talk about it, because I think that's something that is, for me, what I enjoy about your videos. It's not so much about what you're saying, but the cadence in which you say it.
Huh.
If that makes sense. So it's like the rhythm or the explanation and the passion behind it. You can almost feel the passion of what you're looking at, that
Yeah.
it does mean that much to you. And I think that transcends well into your content. And
I appreciate that, because that's kind of, as a content creator, that's the kind of feedback I look. I want to hear, because I have moments where I'm like, man, I might not be good at this. Maybe I don't have the right. Maybe I'm coming off too cheesy. And so, because that's where I'm at in my content creating, is like I analyze it, and I definitely overanalyze it a lot too.
I think you're very
So-
easy to listen to.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I don't want to lump you in with Carrie, but I mean, Carrie's got one of those voices too.
Yeah,
So-
Carrie definitely has that voice. He's got that voice for sure.
But I'm gonna go ahead and lump you in with them, because
Oh.
it's kind of the same thing for me.
That is an ultimate compliment for me. I've known Carrie for a long time. I knew Carrie before he took off. It's one of those stories I tell. Like, I was messaging Carrie, and we used to talk way before either one of us seen
So
any.
hang on a second, Jimmy. Before we go any further, for those that don't know who Carrie is, can you tell who Carrie might be?
Carrie over at American Arbitrage. Him.
Okay.
And
We're
then
going on
Donnie,
Spotify.
Dawn is his wife now, right? A lady arbitrage. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to message back and forth, and I remember the day when he said, he probably doesn't even remember this, but he said, I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna try TikTok. Like, I'm gonna try TikTok. And I hadn't even installed it, I didn't know anything about it. The rest is history, right? Like, he went over there and was like one of the OG original resellers on TikTok and took off over there. And I was like, I should have followed him.
Right. Like,
Jimmy,
dang it.
TikTok.
Meanwhile, we're trying to work TikTok now, right? Like crickets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For us right now, it's just, and then we appreciate you coming on this small channel, man. It means a lot. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to build the community up and trying to get people interested in what's going on in reselling and all the things. And right now, the algorithm's not about that. It's about just all the other stuff, right? All the hatefulness in the world, and we're trying to bring a little bit positivity and shine a light into some dark spots and give people hope that reselling can be an answer for their family, that type of thing. We're trying to get new resellers into here, and tell them how to do it, what to expect, what the realistic part of it is.
Yeah.
And that doesn't get the attention it needs, I think, on the algorithm.
Yes, big on positivity in this community because there's not a lot of it, and
Yeah.
I think I get misunderstood a lot, but I focus on positivity. I focus on, like when I talk about eBay, and even though I had a recent issue with them that I had talked to them and I wasn't happy with them, I still like the amount of good buyers out there that eBay brings to my store. I love. Like I don't do things happen, do bad things happen, do annoying things happen, do frustrating. They do, but you know what? From a percentage standpoint, the amount of positive transactions you have on eBay, most companies would take that percentage. Most because it's not even comparable. It's high 90% of positive. By positive, I mean either they bought it and you never heard from them again. They bought it and left you good feedback. They bought it and kept it. That's a positive trend. Like the percentage is crazy good. It's crazy for the good side. So I focus on that.
Absolutely.
And that's where it's not enough of it, but it also doesn't get the views. It doesn't get the likes. It doesn't get the it doesn't get the comments. It just doesn't. So
let's talk about it then. Why content creation for you, Jimmy? What led you to go from reselling, right, and being very successful, it sounds like, to making the transition? What I know that I think I might know some of it, but I just want to make sure that those that are watching that may not know you well understand why that is.
I was growing up as I was very shy, very introverted, so it didn't make. I don't know how I ended up to where I talk so much and I ramble on and all that stuff, and I'm on camera and I talk. I've been at live meetups and talked in front of people, and that used to never be me. So I don't really. I used to watch a lot, and I mean Lonnie Garage Flips. A lot of people bring him up. I watched him every single day, and that was my first model. I actually took all those videos down. I did a lot of what sold early on, and so I started there. And it was just me in my basement and showing the items I sold. And I don't know. Early on, like a lot of people, oh, you can make money doing that. Well, I'm gonna make money doing that, and that was part of it for sure. I learned. It took me a while to learn that was a mistake. That was not a good motive at all. For me, for my personality, it was not very toxic way to go into it for me. So I started I actually took a long break after I did the what sold before I switched over to garage sales, and reanalyzed it, stepped back, and I came back to it as a fun hobby, something I want to enjoy doing, and I'm going to approach it as a hobby, and that changed everything for me. So
yeah,
I love that.
I know that Ellie has a pretty good garage sale, yard sale scene in Nashville area, and we've been orbiting each other for a while, Jimmy. I've been to a couple of meetups, and I've seen you around.
Okay.
And I'm the same type of person that sounds like I was very quiet as a child, very like introverted. I'm still the same way when I'm in public. I could do this all day long. I could sit here and talk to you forever, probably, but when it's in person, I have trouble. Like the reselling meetup thing is very like, I don't want to say clicky because that's not exactly what's going on, I don't think, but it's very
I feel what you're saying.
It's very planetary.
Yep.
Like there's these groups and they're just kind of like, and it's hard to make that transition to introduce yourself or put yourself out there. So I'm glad you could do this because I've been wanting to talk to you for a while, because I know you're a toy guy and I know that we grew up in the same time period and I know all the things. And I wanted to, but back to, so I just wanted to kind of mention that really quick. So I appreciate you doing this. Personally,
I enjoy doing this stuff for sure. It's fun to me. I used to do a live show every day. Matter of fact, during COVID, I did a live show where I went live every day. That's when, that was so long ago. Dang.
Well, we wanted to do, go ahead, Ellie. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, are you only doing eBay? Are you doing live selling or?
I'm definitely mostly eBay. I'm huge on Dibdit is where I do my live selling, Dibdit.com. I was going every Monday for a while there. It became an inventory issue. That's the only reason I've slowed. with the winter and not finding as much stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I've it is what it is. I don't bring I bring the stuff that's either stale or I always try to bring good stuff, but I can't bring the best stuff over there. It's just for me, live sales aren't there yet. Live selling is not. Live auctions are not there yet. But if I bought a buyout of a whole collection, and I'm in the profit already, well into the profit, some of the stuff will end up there because, well, I'm already doing great on this buy. So I really enjoy the people that hang out with me on Dibdit. So I want to bring them the best stuff I possibly can. So I will mix in some of the better items when I'm doing well on a buy.
Nice.
So yeah,
Nice.
Dibdit is my go. I call it the WN because I had some serious issues with it, and I probably won't ever sell on the WN again.
No.
Just
We all
because-
do. So
I was gonna
We
say
all-
we all do.
I know you guys do. I know you guys all do, and I know that I probably made the mistake with the shipping, but for them to say they're gonna, I get a little stubborn about things, and they put it back on me as the one that made the mistake when they took all my profits to pay for shipping.
Oh no.
And I mean, literally, it wasn't even a great show, but it was over $100, and I was walking away with like $30 because I messed up on the shipping. And I'm like, well, then what happened to all? I might have pushed the wrong buttons, but I don't want to bash it too much. But where did all that money go? Well, we all
it's
know
important to
where it
talk
went.
about because this is this is
Yeah.
why this podcast exists, to bring light to those things.
We know where that money went because I paid $12 for one label and like $8 for another label. I only had 2 buyers.
Mhm.
So where did all that money go? Well, we know where it went, and you can do this one time, and we'll make sure. And I was like, it'll be the last time. Like it will be like to blame me because I pushed a wrong button, whatever. Anyways, so it didn't go, and it was a kind of an ugly conversation I had with them. So I won't be going back,
I will say that-
I don't need to though because I
Yeah.
enjoy the one I'm going
Yeah.
on, and I do well over there.
So you've built a good community. on
Yeah,
Dibdit.
yeah. And I kind of sucks because it's kind of falling apart because I haven't been on there in a while.
Yeah, and once you're not live for a while, it's
They
like
forget you, Jimmy.
out of sight, out of mind, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And, hopefully, when I
Same
get
here.
back to going to yard sales and I get more inventory coming in, they'll be happy to see me. But we'll find out.
Yeah. I think that's the same across any live streaming platform, though.
Yeah, definitely. I will admit I haven't put the effort into it like a lot of people that you have to have any kind of success. You have to on those live auctions. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of painful sales. There's
She said,
bumps in the road.
Ashley. She's the most consistent of us. So
Yeah,
Weird.
it's a lot, and mine is. Just so you know, my history is I'm not static listing anywhere. That's my goal for this year because
awesome.
yes, I have some old school toys that I grew up with that I remember that what I'm selling them for, I know full well I could get bukus. But when
Yep.
you're buying it for, in a toy bag for
Yep.
like $2 and you can, it's like, I'd rather pass it on to another reseller type deal. But Whatnot is my main live streaming. I have booths. And I'm the same as you. You know how you got into toys. I started off in home decor and I wound up in
Yep.
toys. And I was like, holy crud. And I was like, these are my people, and I still have some home decor. But yeah, it's consistency.
Yeah.
I've gotten
For
it
sure.
down to, certain days that I'm like, I have to take these days off. I was like, I have to. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
if
toys are
you-
just so much more fun. I think
Yeah.
is how that naturally happens, right? Just
Mhm.
toys are just because it's nostalgia. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be play, and those are the things that we often want to do because it reminds us of a time that maybe it wasn't perfect, but at least it was a little bit less,
Yeah.
adulty. Is that a
Yeah.
word?
I think there's something to be said about finding a community of toy lovers who understand that nostalgia versus, some people look at you like, why are you playing with toys? What are you?
yeah.
You know?
Grow up, Ellie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's another side of it that I kind of lean into that. I kind of puts those people puts them back a little bit because it's 100% an investment for me. I'm at that age now where I'm thinking about investing a little bit, and I invest a little bit, Well, I buy a toy and I'm already 20x it. You know, when I buy it, I'm already 20x or more, 100x
Right.
on the value, on my investment. Well, I'm gonna put it on the shelf. I'm gonna enjoy it as my collection, but let it, even if it doesn't gain any, but it probably will. But I'm already I'm already made so much money on my initial investment already, and now I can enjoy it. And then let's say if I at 65, I'm like, okay, I've enjoyed these for the last 15 years. I'm ready to not have to resell as much and work as hard at reselling. Then I can sell them, And
Yeah.
Can you imagine that private pick going to Jimmy's house and being like, "Hey, Jimmy,
I know.
here's 50 grand, man. Can I have that like Transor Z?"
Yeah. Be amazing.
Yeah, so that's some I kind of anybody that gives me kind of because I'm starting my Facebook page about toys, and I've gotten some people that this grown man No, I'm a grown man that's investing my money, and that there's no difference than buying stocks or buying precious.
It's actually
metal.
better, Jimmy. I've done the math. It's 8 to 10% if you're lucky from the S&P 500, right? Yep. I could take that same $45. I did a video about this on my channel.
Okay, see, I didn't even know that.
I took that same $45, invested it. This is what my return would have been.
Yep.
But instead, I took that money and I invested it in toys, and I made $3,000 in 24 hours.
Boom.
Win. That's called a W. Is what that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly how
I'm a software engineer, man. I'm gonna do the math.
He's coming ready.
I'm coming ready.
See, but like there's some comments where that's where I said that's the exact words I've said. Like, this is an investment. I don't, along those lines. And like, like now what? Like you're an adult, because they called me a child. Like, no, I'm an adult. That's investing. Do you invest? Like, are you an adult? Do you invest? Because that's what I'm doing. Like,
yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
That's just social media in general, man. I got my first hater on YouTube the other day. So I was just like, maybe I've arrived finally.
Winning.
Maybe I finally arrived. I got like 200 subs. 90% of the people that watch my stuff don't sub. So I'm just like, I finally got my first hater.
If you want to get them fast, just go put videos on Facebook or even TikTok. But Facebook's the worst. Oh my god.
Oh, it's terrible.
Facebook, they ate me alive. I did one where the video that I got ate me alive was when I went to a yard sale and I put that they had an eBay printout on their item, and that video did really well. But the comments were brutal. Like,
man, but that's where the money is at. Are you monetized on Facebook yet?
You had to.
It's a sore subject.
Very sore.
Let's talk about it though. If you want to, Jimmy, don't feel pressure. But I mean, if you want to talk about
it, no, it's fine because I didn't do anything wrong. I had my old school flips page on there. I was monetized and I was destroying. I was the best I've ever done monetarily on any platform by far on my short format. I basically went viral over not in the millions, but I had videos hit for 900,000, 800, 600,000, 800,000, and the money shorts, like literally the ones you see that I put out where it's like a 15-second video, and I even put a picture from a Goodwill on there they had a Coke can for sale on their shelf, and that went viral, and that just the picture alone got a bunch of views. So I was doing great and I was rolling and everything, and then one day I woke up and I've been suspended.
What?
Like, why? So it doesn't, and Facebook has very little support. Like, it's all AI support. There's no humans to talk to. I tried and I what's it called when I appealed it multiple times, and they lost, and I never got my own, and it just said that I did one of my, it didn't tell me which video. It just said I was outside of their policies, and my whole store, every video, everything all got demonetized, and they stopped. And it was frustrating because I had videos that were hitting for big views every day while the money wasn't coming. And so, like, eventually I said, well, they're not going to get to benefit off my videos and have people watch my videos. So I took them down. Like, because I'm not making any, I'm not, my graph was like this, and then
right.
Oh man.
So I have a plan now though, because I don't know what I did. And I was going for I wasn't doing anything mean or awful or anything, but I was going for the clickbait. Like I did a video of jarts, these are banned, and I did the eBay printout, and I did Goodwill's crazy asking this price. I didn't know, does Facebook not allow that stuff? I don't know. Like I didn't know, so one of them must have made them mad.
I think what happens at first is when you're first getting up there and churning out content, and I've seen a lot of results from other people, is you could potentially have something that's copyrighted or music, or there's something in your video.
All my videos are voiced over.
Or there's something that happened in that frame, and then when you do finally get monetized, you start getting alerts because of previous videos that you may not recall something happening. So you have to kind of know the rules, and I'm not a rule lawyer, nor do I claim to be. But
that's what I thought, but I didn't have a lot of content on there for starters. Like I did not put a lot out. I kind of took off fast. I might have had 35 short videos on there.
They didn't want to pay
every single one of them.
They didn't want to pay you, exactly.
That's probably it.
Yeah.
Every single one of them I recorded on my phone, and then I went back later and I muted every single one of them, and I voiced every single one of them over. So it's not no sound at the sale, no music in the background.
Damn.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Come on, Facebook.
And so I hope you guys are wrong, because I started another one for my toy page, and my toy page is not going to be anything clickbaity. It's not going to be, if that's a word. That's Craig, right? Wait.
Landshark Picker says, my wife got an email about a copyright on a reel about the music. She selected something that Facebook suggested. So there you go. I think Facebook's leading you down the road. You got to be careful because it's all AI, like Jimmy's saying.
I think I just read recently, if you use music on the reels, like from Facebook, you have to select. There's in Facebook a selection of copyright-free music that you can select. If anybody's out there listening, that
it may be copyright-free today, but in 7 months will it be?
Yeah, that's tricky, and that's the music that they provide.
So a lot of this copyright stuff is going viral because people are using it on TikTok.
Yep.
And then someone's content goes viral on TikTok. Next thing you know, the person that made that song is rethinking their choice of making it copyright free, and they might go through that process, right?
Yeah. To go ahead and Studio has a bunch of songs too that I used to use, but I didn't use it. I don't know. I'm doing my toy page, and I'm already starting to take off on that.
That's awesome.
And I'm doing that.
Let's talk about it. What's the name of your page so people can follow you, Jimmy?
It's Old School Flips Toys.
There you go.
Old School Flips Toys. And I'm doing that the same way, except I'm not putting any human faces in it. I'm not talking about any companies. I'm just keeping it as basic toy collectible as possible. And the thing I love about it is people. I've already figured out what, and it's what I'd like to do too. So like my video will be like, here's my collection, show me your collection. And the amount of pictures in the comments of people's toys collections is insane. It's fun too. Like I can't even
write their names down, Jimmy. It says when you're ready to sell them.
Let me know.
You got to data mine them.
I've had some messages of people trying to sell. I haven't been able to. They want closer to market, and I end up telling them like I take joy in my collection because I know where I got every item, and I know I got it at a bargain price. So that's part of my whole thing. I don't usually pay market price, and that's what I tell them.
Finding it in the wild is always better, anyways, right?
Oh yeah,
it just hits different. It really does. I mean, I can go out and buy a Voltron and pay full market for it, but man, if I were to stumble across one,
I've got.
And that's when I see your stuff, Jimmy, the Transformers and the Thundercats and all that stuff, man. I'm just
I know.
Yeah, she said it's gonna melt right now.
Yes, all the good stuff. Yes,
I'm telling you, like every single collection in my office already now, I can even think about it. I know where I bought every single one of them, and that is a big part of an enjoyment for me, for sure. You're right. Like those Thundercats. I remember that estate sale, and I found that Ziploc bag full of them. And they're in like mint condition. I'm like, what is happening? And I paid. I mean, they ended up costing me nothing because I bought a whole big old pile of stuff, and there was some really good stuff that I sold in that pile. And I'm like, well, since I made money on this, like I sold a Jaws poster the movie Jaws, I sold a poster for $700 out of the lot. I didn't even pay half of that for the whole lot, right? And I didn't even know it was that good of a poster, right? Like I just threw it in their pile. It was all, oh whatever. This poster's cool. I'll put it in the pile. And so I was like, I'm keeping the Thundercats now because I already made it.
Absolutely.
I don't blame you.
You ever get the people in the comments that are like, "Oh, you should go back and pay more"?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, those folks.
I'm not I'm at the point now where it's like everybody's just like, oh, you moved something and you didn't put it back. This.
They're watching your every move now. That's what
And
we're
I'm
looking forward to, Bob. Hopefully,
my last video
can't wait.
put out,
I can't wait.
I left it in there because I cut that stuff out. Like I don't think people want to watch that. Like that's boring. So I edit my videos and I'm like, cut out the dead air, and nobody wants to listen to me breathing heavy while I'm bending over to put something back down on the table. So I'm cutting that out, right?
Yeah.
So in my last video, I left it in there and I voiced it over. Like, this is for all the people that say I don't put stuff back. I usually just cut this out because it's boring.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna watch this boring part of the video where I put this stuff back in the box and slide it under the table.
You should make a compilation of all the different things you put back.
yeah.
Right. Maybe those videos would do better. Because I'm serious, like I didn't know there was that many people that cared that if you move something from underneath the table, they want to see you put it back. Like what? Like what is happening right now?
Listen, it's a yard sale. It's not
And
that
I'm a
deep.
monster because I didn't put it back.
Terrible, Jimmy. Terrible.
My thought is you put it out where somebody else could buy it versus it being in a box that they're not going to take.
Now we're talking. That's what
Now
I'm
we're
saying.
talking. That's what I'm. Ashley coming in clutch.
You are merchandising for them. There you go.
There you go.
Re-merchandising. Yeah, there you go.
It's funny though. Like one of the biggest. Then I miss a lot of stuff because I'm just now in Ohio starting to buy some of the MCM and the glass and the antiques because it's out there everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But my older footage, like I'm just walking right past that stuff looking for the toys, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm adjusting because I want to get a booth. I'm actually going to be getting a booth soon, and I have a ton of stuff right over here right now that I because I find that's the sale where they're like it's a quarter, sonny boy, and it's like everything's cheap, and I'm like I'm buying all this MCM and all this glass. I'm finding Fenton everywhere out here.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
I'm
Stay away from Ohio.
Yeah.
Shh, don't tell them.
And so,
That's great.
I have to shift that. And, I'm thankful that people always let me know the stuff I miss. So the next time I don't miss it.
You learn. Yeah, learn as you go. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Learning and
But it's
growing.
part of the curve of moving out. Because this kind of stuff is not common in the Denver. I mean, it's there, but not like this.
Yeah.
It's not like I find it out here.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I find an action figure, I don't find many. I think I have two that I found that I'm holding on to. I got a flocked Ewok.
Oh,
Like
a flocked one?
A flocked one. I think it's like one of the original ones I have on my shelf. And then I have a newer Stormtrooper. Not it's like 2014-ish,
Okay.
somewhere in that area. So it's newer stuff. But whenever I find something like that, I'm just like, haha, finally.
Well, that's another. Clone Wars is a great example of a modern toy that, man, those Clone Wars toys from the Clone Wars series it's on Netflix.
cartoon
Right?
stuff?
Is it on Netflix? Or no, Disney.
Yeah.
Disney Plus. Well, I should know that. Disney Plus. Yeah, that stuff does great because
It was a great series. That animated
I've watched
series. Man, it was great.
I have
They
not.
did a really, really good job producing that. So
Some of those toys are crazy good from Clone Wars. Crazy good. And a lot of the ships are crazy good. Like the clone carriers and stuff, man.
yeah.
But
I
that's just
agree.
so like knowing that series and knowing my kids liked it, like that helped me so much with some modern toys.
Yeah, let's talk about the Y2K stuff really quickly because I think what we're seeing, and Ellie mentioned this in one of her videos, I think not too long ago, or maybe in a podcast, that they're finding it earlier. The young people that are coming up,
Yep.
millennials or whatever, they're coming up and they're finding the nostalgia quicker than we did. Like
Yeah.
we're finding it in our 40s and 50s, but they're finding it in their,
When you got
20s,
the
30s.
internet in your hands,
Yeah.
you're starting to see that stuff and remember sooner than later.
Yep.
And it's still in circulation. So I think that's part of what's making so many of these toys viral so
Yeah.
fast.
And again, it's like even it doesn't even, it's different though because there's not as many like action figure toys. There's not as much of that from but like one of two of my favorite from around that time. I can name three lines that are not even like action figure. They're like kid show toys that are amazing. Obviously, Blue's Clues, the Wiggles, that stuff.
Oh, the Wiggles is fire.
And then my number one that just literally I listed and it's gone before I can is the Bear in the Big Blue House.
Oh yes, all day long. Bear.
So like, those are great examples of Y2K-ish cartoon TV shows.
I just sold a little Bear in the Blue House plush this big. I just did a video on my channel for $76.
Yeah. What's the rat's name? I can never remember his name.
Tutter. My wife got one off Facebook Marketplace, a big one, a big blue and a big Tutter. And it hasn't sold yet. She has one.
Yeah. So I mean, that's it's crazy though. It's just crazy.
Yeah. I remember like Little Bear shows like that. That kind of like Nick Jr. type of shows and stuff like that, like Lizzie McGuire and Disney Channel.
Lizzie McGuire.
We found a Lizzie McGuire action figure about yay big, and that thing is just. We haven't listed it yet. I don't even know where I put it, but yeah, it's just crazy. The things that you can find.
Blues that notebook, just the notebook. That's worth a lot of money. If you have the original notebook, crazy.
Yeah, Steve's making a comeback here. I don't know if you guys are tracking that, but he's on social media.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I forget what his name is, but I guess it is Steve. But he's back on and he's just like talking to people like he used to back in the day, you know.
Yeah.
And just like listening and like he's like therapy.
Right. The
people are like on TikTok crying and stuff, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, fun stuff. Yeah. You know, I was trying to think of who was the guy that there was a guy that took his place that was only there for a short time on Blue's Clues that wore the orange shirt. You know,
Joe.
Was it Joe?
Yeah.
I sold his plush for an insane amount of money. That's the only reason I was thinking of that because he wasn't on there very long. And when I listed, it was the only one on eBay, and I put it for an insane amount, and it sold within like 24 hours. And it was, I want to say I sold it for $400, and it was just a little plush like that big. I think if you went into the sold histories, that might still be there because it wasn't that long ago that I sold.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy. So like, yeah, that kind of stuff is just wild.
What's the wildest thing you've ever sold, Jim? Like for least amount paid, most gained. Like, what's the craziest thing?
Oh man, I mean, my best sale ever was some. It's that item that's not as fun, but it's fun. Was some Cutco knives. I think
always fun to find Cutco.
But this one has a fun story. I was at my favorite thrift store in Denver, Mile High Thrift, and I was in line to check out. And I'm standing in line to check out, and I see this cart, just one of the employees pushing a cart with all the stuff that they're going to put out on the shelf, right? And I see this giant knife block with all these knives sticking out of it, and she's putting it behind the counter, right? And I'm like so close to being the next in line. And I'm like, if she turns that knife block around and it says Cutco on it, I'm gonna cry. And she turned around and it said Cutco, and I was like, and so I was right as she put it on the shelf, I'm walking up to the cashier and I'm like, can I see those knives that she just set down? Puts it up there, $15 for the giant set, the big block with all the.
That's crazy.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Cashiers, that's a great deal.
Like, yes, it is.
Let's talk about why that is, Jimmy. Why is that? Why is Cutco such a good brand and why people should be looking out for it?
I call it because I was a mechanic. I call it the snap-on of knives. It's got lifetime warranty. It's just, I guess I've never owned them except for to sell them. I actually have a set somewhere that I got to sell. Matter of fact, right now.
Yeah, I think what it is if they go dull or if they break or whatever, they'll just replace it. I mean, it's like you're buying infinite money or whatever. So
got to be careful with that warranty information on eBay, though. I know you can't do it on Snap-on. I made that mistake once. Don't put that it has a lifetime warranty on Snap-on tools.
We sell a lot of advertising plush. we're solely niche down to plush. That's what we do. We do a fair job at it. Mostly my wife. I just sit there and take direction really
I just
poorly, but
advertising stuff today.
yeah. But anyways, we sell a lot of advertising stuff. So like Michelin, you know, tool brands and stuff like that. I just sold a monkey that was like a tool brand. Like I think it was Matco or something like that. I forget.
Matco's a good brand.
Yeah, so we recently sold that, and yeah, so advertising plush, for those that don't know, if the person works for that company or maybe they have worked for them for years, and they want something to sit on their desk and have a conversation starter, they'll buy it.
Most advertising stuff, advertising is just a great like advertising bobbleheads, advertising belt buckles, like all. What did I pick up? I picked up a plush today. It's a from Kellogg's, and it is the hillbilly goat.
Oh,
Okay.
It's from like the 60s too. I picked that up today.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I'm buying stuff today I didn't know anything about. I just know it looked cool and I'm buying it.
Yeah.
You run into a lot of those like breakfast buddies. Like I guess they were part of like where you turn in the box tops or whatever, or maybe. So yeah, they're called breakfast buddies. It's like Kellogg's, and you know they have different cereal brands, and like they have a little plushie.
Yep.
So we run into some of that.
Yeah, the Count Dracula and all that. Count
Yeah. Let's talk about the cereal that you ate as a kid in the 80s. Since we're
Oh,
talking about
good.
that self-proclaimed, you know, Saturday morning cartoon kid eating cereal out of the Tupperware bowl.
I
What
was
your favorite,
boring. I still to this day don't like very sweet cereal. To this day, my favorite cereal is still Life cereal, plain old Life cereal.
Oh no.
Nothing wrong with life. I mean,
Mikey
life-
likes it,
Hey.
and Jimmy likes it.
Hey, oh,
You remember the Mikey likes it commercials?
I'm cuckoo
Oh,
for
yeah.
Cocoa
Mikey
Puffs.
likes. Yeah. Wait,
And it's funny because my wife eats all the sweet cereals and she keeps it, and I'm like, can you just get some Life? And I don't eat a lot of cereal anyways, but every once in a while she'll give me some Life cereal so I can eat it because she knows I like Life.
I love that.
And it's not
That's
like something I'm like I'm an old man now and I eat shredded
I need
wheat.
my fiber.
I just always loved Life cereal. Like I don't even like the cinnamon Life. I like plain Life cereal. A little bit of sugar, not a lot, sprinkled in there. That's the best.
He has it with his grapefruit and his orange. And
And all my
Jimmy
vitamins,
short for
all my
James?
supplement vitamins.
yeah,
Is Jimmy short for James?
It is, yep.
You're not a plain Jane. You're a plain James.
I'm a plain. I tell my wife I'm a vanilla kind of guy. Like, you want chocolate? You want strawberry? You want on top of your ice cream? No, I just want a scoop of vanilla. I'm a vanilla kind of guy.
that's me, Jimmy. It's like we're separated at birth or something.
Right.
Except you're the more handsome one.
Here we go. You know, what's
I love the
funny?
song choice, by the way. If you guys didn't know, Jimmy's song
Oh.
choice for the promotion of
Isn't that
this
great?
was you know. Go ahead, Jimmy. Tell the story.
It's what is it? Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah,
What's the name of it?
opportunities.
Opportunity. I always forget the name
Yeah.
because it's let's make lots of money.
So basically,
That's what we do,
the
right?
genesis behind it or whatever is like, Jimmy's got the looks, I got the brains. Jimmy, let's make some money.
Right.
That's awesome.
It's funny that you asked me if it's James because another thing I always say is my mom and dad named me James, and then called me Jimmy from that point on. Like I never, and like I've had jobs where like they called me James for a little while because that's what's on I had to put that on my application or whatever. But like to be called James is just so weird to me. Like I've never gone by it, and like. Some people they won't call me Jimmy. Some people won't do it. They want to. They're like they're not comfortable saying the name Jimmy or what. I don't know, but they'll call me Jim, and I'm like, no, my name's Jimmy. And I've corrected them, and they'll still only call me Jim.
Some people like associate it like with childhood names, like if
Yeah,
it's
I
a kid's
think
name or something, the Jimmy at the E at the end or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the
I've
same
always-
thing. I'm a Robert, and I was called Bobby growing up, but
Bobby,
nobody
yeah.
calls me Bobby except for Gulf Coast Pickers, and
Hey.
once in a while in my family. But yeah, so it's interesting. And now I go by Bob. It's what I prefer. But what's in a name? Let's talk about old school flips. How did you come up with that name choice? It was just random.
Yeah, my nickname growing up was B. My whole family calls me B now. So the Jimmy was kind of they named me James, started calling me Jimmy, but then my brother, when I was born, he was a year or something older, just like 14 months older than me. So he couldn't say baby or brother. So he called me B, and then that stuck. And so I've been my sister, my brother, and my mom, and my dad, they all call me B. Those four call me. They're the only four people they call me B. Oh, and my nephew. So that's where this is going to get to a point, I promise. My nephew calls me Uncle B. And so I was like, I want my YouTube channel to be Uncle B, but I don't want to just call it Uncle B. I want to add something to the end. And then I liked watching garage flips. So I was like, old school, Uncle B's old school flips. So that was my original name of my YouTube channel, Uncle B. My email is Uncle B old school flip, or Uncle B's at the beginning of my email. So it was Uncle B's old school flips, and then for purposes of trying to get the channel to grow, I cut off the Uncle B's pretty quickly, and then the rest it just stuck.
Just stuck, yeah.
And then one day I was like, I want to have my own hat.
I love it. I'm a hat guy. So.
Where can we get your merch?
Yeah, where can we get your merch, Jimmy? That's a good point.
I have 2 hats right now, and I owe one to Ray over at Buy It All. I need to order more. I haven't ordered them in forever. I'll order some. I'm bad. Because I'm serious. I only made this hat because I was like, I want my own logo and I want my own hat. And I lived in Arizona for a long time, and I was a Phoenix Suns fan. And I used to have the script hat that looked like this, but it was this colorway with the black, and then the Phoenix Suns in these colors. And I was like, I'm gonna make my hat and my logo look just like that hat that I had when I was growing up. So that's where this came from. And so one day I sat here in the basement, and I was like, I'm gonna make a hat. I'm gonna make a logo that looks like that, and I'm gonna find where I would use lid launch or hat launch or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then people, hey, I like that. I have quite a few of them out there in circulation. I've given a lot away, and I've sold.
I'm gonna go on eBay and see if I can find one.
Yeah,
I used to have them on there, but
someone out there is reselling it.
Right? I had fun with one. I have some special edition ones, like I have some purple ones, and I have a white one. And the white one, there's only 2
variants. Yeah, let's talk variants. Yeah,
I even numbered the white
one. Good ring.
This one's a new one. Because I forgot to bring a hat down here, so I went to grab one of I only have 2 new ones over there. That's how I know I only have 2, because I had to grab one. I made white ones. I made 2 white ones. I even on the inside numbered them, 1 of 2 and 2 special edition. I wrote in there.
So you mentioned something when you were chatting, just you kind of glazed over it, but the podcast that you're doing. Let's talk about that. Why don't you go ahead and shout it out real quick, where people can find you, what days you're coming. I'm guessing pre-recorded.
Yeah, we pre-record the Buy It All podcast. We drop it on Monday mornings. We record on Thursdays, and then it drops the Monday mornings at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Eastern. Talking, reselling, having fun. We joke around. I'm not a very serious person most of the time. I like. There's another. I joke around a lot. Most things I say are in a joking manner.
I know, because when you shouted us out, you called it Launchpad McDuck or something.
Yeah, no, that was Keith. He called us, and he got it wrong too. He called you guys Launchpad McDuck, and I said it's Launchpad McQuack, bud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
love it.
We have a good sense of humor over here, so it's all.
It was, it's not anything planned out, but that was one of the things when we started. It was like, I like to joke around. You guys like to, we all agreed, let's just have fun, joke around. We're not too proud or whatever not to joke around with each other. So it's part of the, if you want to call it an agreement or understand that we all have we're all going to have fun, pick, joke, have fun. It's not going to be anything, really mean, or, we're just going to have fun and joke around with each other. Maybe, if someone says a word, like Ray said, pronounce the word towel, he said tail, but he was talking about a yoga towel,
Yeah.
And then he just happened to be talking about there's something called hot yoga. Have you heard of
Yeah,
hot
you
yoga?
have like
Where,
a goat stand on you
Yeah.
or something.
No, it's like when they turn the temperature up and then you do yoga in the room and you're sweating.
Yeah.
And so like he literally was like, I have a hot yoga tail, and I'm all, wait, what? And so like that's kind of thing. That's kind of like, did you just say you have a hot yoga tail? What's happening right now?
That's something you got to clip and put on McViral.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like he was saying towel because he pronounces towel as tail because he's from Baltimore. I guess that's a thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the kind of joking we'll do over this. That was an example of the kind of, and like, so we gave him crap about that and picked on him a little bit and had fun with it. So
Yeah, I love the podcast. I've been watching it. You've had some pretty good guests on. And for those that are not tracking Jimmy by at all, podcast on YouTube, really need to. He's had quite a few people on there already. I know Kevin was just recently on Commonwealth Pickers. For those that are listening that don't know, you're like me, like Patrick under the rock. You're not tracking that, but So that's great that you've had all these relationships. You've been doing this for a while, and you want to make sure that gets recognized because there's a lot of value in the guests that you're going to have on, and I know that it's going to blow up. I'm confident in that.
I appreciate that. It's the number one thing that keeps me going in content. Is the friendships in the 7 years I've made. I have great friends that I've made that I wouldn't. Even if I didn't make another dime doing this, I'm so glad I kept doing it for the friends that I've made. Like that's the best part of it. Not even question. Like,
yeah,
I love, I have some really good friends that I can talk to and I can lean on and ask questions and they help me and they'll come on my podcast. Like, it's just awesome. Yeah. That's
well, just know that you have 3 more now. Just so you know. So,
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So
I love it. Yeah,
appreciate you coming on. Yeah.
the friendships that you make along the way doing these kind of things is like, 10 years ago, had you been told this is what's going to happen, could you imagine that, right? Like,
not my wife to this day says, like, there'll be times we'll be at a thrift store and she'll be like, I just can't believe that you are at a thrift store shopping, and not only are you shopping, you're excited to be shopping. Like, she's like, 10 years ago I had to grab your ear and yank you and drag you to go clothes shopping for the boys at the thrift store. Now you're like, let's go thrifting. Like, and garage sales the same way, same thing. Like she would go on a Saturday and I'd be like, have fun. Like, that sounds awful. I think that sounds awful would be my response. And now it's like Wednesday through Saturday, I'm at yard sales all summer. I don't miss a weekend.
that's amazing.
So yeah,
it's important to be consistent. Some people call that luck, but I think what luck truly is putting yourself out there consistently in front of things, and it just appears to be lucky. They don't see all the hard work and the fails along the way, because a lot of times you walk into a thrift store, or yard sale, or garage sale, and find nothing, but nobody wants to watch that content, right? So you could can that and put it online, but people are like, boring, next. So. Yeah. But it does take work. So if you're thinking about reselling, what's the biggest challenge and advice that you give to a new reseller? Because we're going to hopefully reach out to more newer resellers through this podcast. What would you say your biggest piece of advice is getting started?
It used to be, like I said, it used to be to avoid all the negativity that's out there in the, when you go Facebook groups. I used to be, and I still am, there's a lot of negativity out there in the Facebook groups, and I think I've posted on a Facebook group early on, and to this day even I can post something and someone's going to have something smart or unnecessary to say to you. So just try to ignore that because it's out there. There's a lot of people that don't want to help you, but I'm going to go more towards there's a lot of free content out there on YouTube and out there. There's a lot of people that work hard putting out this content to help you to get where you want to be and to help you learn. Just be careful, because I have a friend that's starting up, and there's so much more content out there that want to charge you a fee or charge you a membership. I'm not against them, but there's so many of them out there, and they are now I can tell they're targeting new sellers and trying to get them to pay for this information and pay for that. And so if you're doing a lot of the social media stuff, just, I say go the free route first. Get as much information as you can for free because it's out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my Cha-Ching King Scott, like that's all you really need to know. But there's
watch his getting started video.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a great example. He's one of the best examples because he's putting in the work, putting out the free content, and it's very informative.
I couldn't agree
So
more.
just be careful you're not signing up for too many memberships. A lot of listing tools and cross listing tools that are trying to get you to sign up for the, just make sure you do your research and don't, because I'm telling you, my friend is like, should I sign up for this? Should I sign up for that? I'm like, where are you finding all this information? Like on social media. And I'm like, whoa. Like when I started, it wasn't like that. Like there wasn't so many different things throwing, buy this, buy that, pay for this. So yeah, be careful with that stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that your cross listing, first of all, is a slippery slope. You kind of need. I'm glad that we did it so early in our. We've only been doing this since 2022, not very long, but we're already seeing tremendous success because of cross listing.
I don't cross list at all.
So
never have.
And that's okay. You don't. That's the point, right? You don't need to. So that's why I'm saying it's a slippery slope. You don't technically need to do it to be successful. You just have to have good items at a good price, and good customer service and photos and all the things, right?
Yeah.
But there's also the other side of it where cross listing can make the difference.
I agree. And it's category based. If you're selling clothes, you should. If you're like a mainly clothes seller, and you're not doing live auctions, then you should be cross listed. Because the competition is heavy in clothing. It's not oversaturated. It's just a lot of people sell clothes. You can go on eBay right now and look at how many women's tops are listed, and the number is astronomical. The amount of shirts that are listed. You know what I mean? So, and most of them are cross listed, and most of those people are promoting. So that's another thing you got to consider if you're in certain categories, because the competition is different than this wheeled warrior right here.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
If I put that on eBay, there's maybe 2 of them out there compared to thousands, millions of shirts. So yeah, that's where for me it's not as effective. I don't really need to cross list.
Yeah. Where you're finding that very niche down, like 1 in a million thing that doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas we're selling a modern day plush that's been overproduced, mass produced. Yes. So you have to promote, you have to do all the things, you have to cross list in order just to get onto the top of the pile to sell it for maybe $2 or $3. But we sell a ton of it doing it. So I think that's the trick. Like to get to a point, if you're going to choose the way we do it, get to a point where you're okay with kind of moving a lot of it at an affordable price.
Yep.
So we've had a lot of success.
Nothing wrong with being like a volume. Volume selling is just as effective. I have a friend that goes to the bins right here by me. I'm taking credit for this, by the way. She used to have like her own little clothing boutique, and she sold in her little town, and she struggled to get by, and she sold on eBay a little bit. I was like, you need to go on Whatnot. I told you need to try Whatnot. And one day she said, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try Whatnot. It has changed her life. She goes to the bins. She is an amazing seller and Whatnot. She starts her stuff at $6. I've watched the show.
Let's shout her out. What's her name?
Happy Hippie Mama.
Happy Hippie Mama and Whatnot. Follow her
on Whatnot, and she's on Instagram as well. She's done some YouTube videos. She came up to me and said, "I'm so glad you pushed me, and it's been the best thing." My wife still watches like her Whatnot auctions because I don't have the app anymore, and she's starting her clothing off at $6, and my wife has sat there and watched her move over 100 pieces of clothing in one show, starting at $6. You can, I'm not great at math, but that's pretty dang good, right?
Yeah, that's some good math right there.
She does 3-4 shows a week. And she just goes to and she knows the brands. She knows all the Aerie and all. I don't know these brands. My wife's learning them a little bit, but she is now. I'd say she's printing money over there. She's like going to the bins and going to Whatnot and just like killing it. And you can just tell like she's got this whole new perspective on reselling that she's destroying it. So, but she's a volume seller. These are good brands that she's selling that she could probably get $30-$40 a shirt for, but she can sell 100 of them in one day on Whatnot. Why not? That's $600. Do it. Be done with it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I get so excited. I'm sorry, I get all overly.
Oh, that's
awesome.
That's how we all are.
We love shouting people out here on this channel because it's important to be a community and uplift people. I think there's more value in that than anything. If I never sold another thing again tomorrow, the fact that if we change one person's life, I said it a million times, I'm like a broken record. If we could do that, then I'm good. I'm good. That's passion behind it, because technically reselling is a hobby for me, Jimmy. Believe it or not. So I work a second job as a hobby. Think about that for a second. But anyways, so for me, the purpose of this podcast is to not only entertain and maybe educate people, but also like move the needle for people, especially for 2026. Our goal here is to grow people's businesses. So if they're side hustling to business or their business to like next level, we want to be the authoritative source for that. So if you're hearing the sound of my voice and you want that kind of like content, feel free to, plug in and let's go. Yep. Let's grow together.
Absolutely.
We usually at this time of the podcast, we normally ask our guests if you had to pick one person that you'd like to see on our podcast, shout them out, Jimmy. Who would you like to see, Jimmy? We're calling you out. Jimmy Old School Flips, who do you want to see on Launchpad Reseller Podcast?
You have to give me that.
I'm telling you weren't prepared for the smoke.
Well, I wasn't prepared.
I feel like my 17-year-old right now.
They have to be a reseller, huh? I can't be.
Well, they don't necessarily have to. No. I mean, they could be a YouTuber.
Yeah,
they could, but it has to be reselling. Obviously, this is a reseller podcast.
I mean, just because he's one of the most entertaining live YouTubers that I've ever watched. Tim over the years.
Tim over the years.
You know Tim over the years?
I've never met him, but I'm sure that I've seen him in one of the, if he's going to meetups, I likely have ran across him. I'm sure. He
is one of the most energetic, funny, knowledgeable. I mean, he's just an awesome dude. I hang out. I do my live on Tuesdays. He's on the Reseller Information Network every Tuesday hanging out. And he has his channel over the years. He does a lot of live auctions as well. He's a big sports cards guy. He has a sports cards. He does a podcast with Carrie and Rod from Picking and Punching. They do a sports card podcast called No Bangers. Tim is great. Tim is one of the best people you ever meet. He's all, and he has Timisms. Like he says words that you're like, Timisms. Yeah. He's just awesome. Yeah. Go check out some of his content. You won't be.
There you go. You've heard it here. Let's see if we can get him on the podcast and see if we can move the needle for someone that hasn't been, like, I'm telling you, I'm Patrick on the algorithm. Like I'm Patrick under the rock. Like I don't know any of these guys. Like I'm being suppressed by YouTube.
Then I can be SpongeBob in his pineapple.
Does that make Ashley Squidward? I think she got the raw deal.
I was like, are y'all throwing me as Squidward? Or like, really?
I would like Gary.
Oh, I'm Gary? Okay.
Gary? I'd rather.
I'd
rather be Gary.
I'd rather be Gary.
Wait, what's the cat that has that wears the? Wait, what's the one that has to wear the to be underwater? Is it a cat?
Oh, Sandy Squirrel.
Sandy Squirrel.
Sandy Squirrel. There you go. Give me a Sandy Squirrel.
There you go. You're in the dome.
Awesome.
I didn't watch a lot of SpongeBob, as you can tell. I don't know. It was just never really my thing.
Yeah.
Love me some SpongeBob.
Me too.
I never watched The Simpsons really either. So there's a couple really big shows like that. I just never got.
The Simpsons still even on? Matt Groening said he would just go until they told him he couldn't anymore.
I don't know if there's any new episodes coming out, but they're in the streaming apps.
I know their names because I've sold their stuff before, but I've never really sat down and watched maybe more than 2 episodes of The Simpsons.
And that stuff, I don't find
Simpsons.
that stuff sells very well. To bring it back to reselling for a second, I've
Some
never
of
really had much
the
luck.
clothing. The clothing does pretty good. I've sold some Bart Simpson shirts and stuff pretty good.
What about you, Ashley? Have you had any luck with Simpson stuff and whatnot?
On some, I was gonna say some like the '90s Rubberhead plush dolls, those, and then like the pencil toppers. I've sold some of those too,
Yeah.
and some of
Yeah.
and the meal toys. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that like the meal toys, old
Yeah,
school, the good meal toys. Okay, not
the
the.
changeables are coming back.
I
Ashley,
Oh, they're
know.
you like those?
trash. They're trash. I
Oh,
got one
damn.
today.
Oh,
I got
man.
one today, and I was so disappointed.
Ripped my heart, man.
Sorry, I got one. If I had it here, I would show you. But I was like, what is this? What is this?
Man,
Nothing
to-
compared.
I
Nothing
used to love
compared.
those, man.
I got one. I got the fries. They're supposed to be like
I
16.
might have the old ones somewhere around here. I don't know where they'd be at though.
They probably would sell for a little bit now that the new ones are out.
They
Oh, yeah.
already sell for $5
I
to
need-
$10 a piece.
Mm.
I was selling them for $6 a piece on Whatnot. So
You guys saw my office right now.
I want to see.
We would all
Yeah,
go
no.
money, 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 money,
Field
money, money.
trip.
Yeah, but you'd be like, you couldn't even walk in there. Right now, my floor is full of IKEA bags that are full of toys that I haven't even. I have to go through. It's crazy. I know
Yeah, man.
it sounds like a brag, but it's actually annoying because like it's so much work.
Flex.
Like I have to
Flex,
sort-
Jimmy.
is,
Flex. It's okay to
Just
flex,
the war
man.
too.
All right,
You
this
worked,
will-
you worked hard at this, Jimmy, and you put the work in, and it shows. I think it really does show. And this is a good testament to those that are just getting started, where you can actually go in 7 years. I mean, look, geez. If you
Yeah, I
really
mean,
just lock in.
it's like there's nothing wrong with, like you said, flex, but there's nothing wrong with realizing, like I realize I'm way better at this than when the day I started, like so much better at picking and but mainly picking, but selling and everything. And you can't, like, it just slowly happens. Next thing you know, like you're not even grabbing your phone anymore. Like you're just picking stuff that you know. Every once in a while, you got to grab your phone because you come across something like, okay, this looks like it could be good. But like today, I went and did a private pick, and everything I picked, I didn't look up because the lady she was there, she was following them around, she was talking about her family memories and stuff, and this and that. And so like everything I picked today was stuff that I just had to, it was stuff that I didn't even really, but I know that Mark's. I know his last name is West. That's all I know. It's not Adam West. It's not Batman.
Yeah.
But there's a character from the 70s, and it's a cowboy, and it's made by MARX, and the last name is West. And I was the girl from that, and I was like, and it was her horse, and I was like, I know this is good. I've seen Mark's before I'm buying it.
Mhm.
So like, it just
Hey,
happens.
there's nothing wrong with let's talk about that for a second, because that's an advantage, right? You don't have to be that person that brings out your phone. You're weaponizing your education. All that work that you've done, now it's locked in, and you have that.
Yeah.
That's what we do at the bins too. We're bins pickers through Nashville, and that's what we do. I seldom ever take my phone out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
I always want to say, don't be afraid to be that person either. Though. Definitely take your phone out. Like,
Right.
don't be afraid to be the person that takes their phone out for sure. But yes, it's so much better when you're like, man, I don't need to take my phone out. I know I've seen this before. I already know. A thing that I always recommend doing is if you're looking up a toy and let's say it's not one that you want to buy, or not even a toy, any item, but it's like still go to Solds and sort highest price and look at what in that category might sell for a lot or does sell for.
right.
I do that almost everything I end up looking up. I'm like, okay, this one right here in front of me doesn't sell good, but I'm gonna still sort the highest price and see what it shows me. Like in this line, if something sells for a lot, I do that all the time, and that's
a good point, because there are certain things, like when we're picking like brand wise, like a certain Douglas will not sell, but there are like Douglas cuddle toys that sell for hundreds of dollars. Matter of fact, my wife sold one on Whatnot for $440. So
this lady had an insane amount of tigers. She was a tiger she bought tiger shirts, tiger everything, right? And I came across a Gund, Gund, genuine gunned tiger plush. And I looked it up and I did the thing, similar, highest price. And the one that was the highest price, it was a wall hanging tiger head plush. It was in the other room. And I bought it today because I did that. It was one of the better ones in the top.
Wow.
That's
awesome.
insane. There's a question in chat, Jimmy. This is usually when we open it up to chat for questions. And let's see if we can get Tiny Toys. Tiny Toys is asking, do you go through every toy you don't recognize? Question mark.
I do. If I can get my phone out, and I will at least lens it, because I'm mainly for reselling, but I'm also now I'm going heavy into. I want to be a toy content creator. I want to eventually be going to toy shows and doing way more toy stuff. And I'm definitely no expert. I am a Google Lens expert, is what I am. So I Google Lens as many as I can. And at least try to find out the brand and who made it and what line it is, what era, stuff like that. So yeah, I am toys especially. Yeah, every chance I get, if I see a toy that I don't recognize, I'm like, what is it? Especially if it has a look like, if it's a monster or if it's something fantasy, a wizard, stuff that we know sells. Yeah, for sure.
I think that Kevin's already doing the collection idea where he's going through the collections and things of that nature, and he's doing that content, which is great because he's a natural born educator. Obviously, he's educated in education, so it comes to him naturally. But I could definitely see where you would win in that type of thing, where if you did like a top 10 toys or you did that type of content, that it could be very successful for the reasons you already are successful for. So I can definitely see that working.
I don't know where I'm going with it. Like you bring up, like right now I'm just trying to grow it. I kind of want to talk about this because to me this is important. The strategy I'm taking. I'm doing what I have found gets a lot of views. I've told a lot of people this, and because I don't really care. It works great for me on Facebook, anyways. Right now on Facebook, 10 to 15 second fast hitting videos are destroying for me. Like they are. I started my Facebook for toys a couple months ago. I think I have maybe 25 videos on there. I already have almost 6,000 followers. The views are insane. Not almost over 1 million views across all my videos. Like it's crazy, right?
I'm taking notes back here.
So my point is this, and this is the way I use tools like this a lot. Like my brain, because I don't know why. I used to work with this guy when I did apartment. Back when I was a mechanic, I worked at an apartment for a while, apartment maintenance. And this guy was older than me at the time, had a rocker, total rock. He was in a rock band. He's like 50, right? And to this day, he's still in his band, still trying to make it big, right? But the thing I would tell him, like, dude, he wanted to make, I want to make my music. I want to make my music. And that, I get it. That's awesome. That's great. I want you to be able to make your music. But just one time, it's not even selling out. Just make a song that the mainstream wants to hear, right? Like just give them, because guess what? If that hits, you can make the music you love for the rest of your life. And live off the money from that one time. You know what? I'm making what the people want. I made a lot of money on it. Now for the rest of my life, I can make the kind of music I want and get paid to do it, because you're going to get enough fans that are still going to come out and they're still going to watch you and they're going to come to your shows and they're going to still listen to your music. So make just one time, just do something. And so like that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Like I'm making what I see the people want to watch. Like they want to watch these short, fast hitting with the voice videos of some information on a toy or whatever. And so I'm doing that right now. And I will decide when I get to towards my goal of where I want to take it, what I enjoy the most in the content. But I actually enjoy this. I'm actually really enjoying the short format right now. So
yeah,
but that's some advice for content creators that I think is huge. Like don't I know you want to make your and there's nothing wrong, but like sometimes that's why clickbait exists. I'm sorry, like and clickbait has worked for me on my YouTube channel. It has in the past, and I'm not afraid to use it because I take that approach to it. Like I'll give, because if, especially in the reseller YouTube community, if you get one video to hit, from that point on, you can keep putting out videos that are they might not hit for 1.5 mil, but if they hit for 30, 40K, you're still really happy.
Yeah.
And that one video got you to that point.
We got one reel when we had Four Seasons Pick Around that actually went 50K on Facebook. She was talking about the Whatnot reseller ladder. Basically, it's you sell one thing, you sell another. You can't move up the rung until you sell that one thing, right? And her explanation of it and just the moment in time that it captured, that reel, it really did transcend over globally, which was the first time for us on this podcast that happened. So a lot of what you're saying is resonating right now. I'm a stickler. I'm a creator at heart. I'm an artist. I draw, for those that didn't know that. I do all that kind of stuff, cartoons, and I do all that. So for me, a lot of times when I'm creating something, I put so much passion and energy into it, and it doesn't hit. I'm taking what you're saying, Jimmy, and I'm like locking it into the vault. Maybe I need to give a little first before I can actually put out the stuff that I want to put out, that I think there's value in. Because right now what's happening on Facebook is there's a lot of copy and pasting in ChatGPT. There's no value.
Yep.
So they're getting monetized, they're doing all this stuff, they're unlocking it. But once you unlock it, then what? You're not creating anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So that kind of resonates for me, and I kind of needed to hear that tonight. So I appreciate you mentioning that. It definitely, you've moved at least one mind. So I appreciate that.
It's fun, and I want everybody to succeed. I want people. I've been trying to succeed forever. I want to see everybody succeed at this. It's possible, and social media is huge. It's the way to go. Like,
reselling in general. Sometimes there's two ways of doing it. You don't have to be a content creator to do it, right? Yeah, but I think the reason why I want to do it is because I've had some success so early on. What about you, Ellie? Why content creation now for you?
Oh man, putting me on the spot here. I'm not I wouldn't call myself a full-time reseller, even though I have a full-time inventory. I enjoy picking a little too much, but the thing that reselling has done for me as a stay-at-home mom, as a homeschooling mom, and I sound like a broken record too, but it's important because it's allowed me and afforded me the opportunity to stay home with my kids and to be able to homeschool. And for me, reselling helps pay for the services that I'm using for my kids' is homeschooling. It helps put groceries on the table. It helps pay the bills and alleviate a one-income family. So I just really want to lean into moms who, may be struggling or maybe wanting to do the same thing or looking for a side hustle or for a little bit of extra income in their family. And that's the important part for me.
Yeah.
I got to say huge props because I couldn't imagine doing this with young kids.
Yeah.
They help. So I have a 3-year-old.
She's got soldiers, man.
Yeah, but
I have 20-something-year-olds, and they don't. And one of them, he don't want to help at all. He's like, I don't want no part of that.
And my 17-year-old,
my 8 and 9-year-old. Yeah, my 8 and 9-year-old, they're locked in. My 14-year-old, she's like, no.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine though, like if they weren't in and they were just like, oh, like this is already enough. I couldn't imagine having 2 kids running around.
I think that the niche helps. I do toys.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so I think, it's interesting to them right now.
Yeah. I always find it interesting when Ellie comes sourcing with us, what her kids are drawn to. It's almost like product research for me. It's like, what do they enjoy? So she has a bit of an edge, right? Because they know what's good. Well, sometimes. I mean, skibidi toilet is a thing. Whatever, mostly they know it's good. They pick up an action figure and they're playing with it, and you're like, oh, where's that from? What is that? What's the story behind that thing? I have no idea. This is from blah 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 show, and I'm like,
Steven Universe, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what? There's so many YouTube kids channels out there now that are creating merch that it's not like before when everybody knew the show. Like, not everybody knows that one skibidi channel.
Ryan's
So,
World.
like, what the
Ryan's
heck
World
is that?
YouTube
Yeah.
first, right?
So they definitely do help me. I can hold something up and be like, "What the heck is this too?" And they know, is this Five Nights at Freddy's or alphabet lore or whatever all of these weird
Some
things
sub
are.
niche within a toy. There's niches within niches. I mean, it gets
Yes.
pretty, like you can go in a rabbit hole if you're not careful.
I got a question about toys, about future possible collecting toys, and what your guys' thoughts on this, because I think about this a lot, because I'm always thinking about what's going to be good in 15 years from now, right? Are video game toys gonna be collectible, like the games that the kids even 3, 4, 5 years ago were playing a lot Minecraft? What's the Fortnite toys? Like, I see all the toys. I mean, like Pokemon toys do well, right?
Yeah.
Are Fortnite toys 15 years from now? Are those kids that played the game gonna want the figures when they're older? Are they played Minecraft as a kid? Are they gonna want the figures when they're older? Or do you think that because they didn't actually physically play with the toys, they only played the video game, that's not going to translate as well as the stuff that we play with?
I'm gonna let Ashley take this one first. What are your thoughts on this, Ashley?
Mine is for Fortnite. I think it's already somewhat phased out. Unfortunately, that's what I'm seeing. There's a lot.
Yeah, but
Like
20
in
years from now.
20 years from now.
Yeah. Like, do you think it'll? I know what you're saying. I agree with you 100%. I
Yeah.
already do. There was a time when that happened to Transformers, right?
Oh yeah, true.
And that's that. But I'm because I think you're right. I'm just curious. Do we think that it'll come back? You know what I mean?
Mine is there's a possibility. Like Minecraft is already rampant now, and it's still hitting. That I still think it's going to be basically how we grew up. Like I'm the Rainbow Bright, I'm the She-Ra, like all that stuff. Like that is my childhood. That I'm like, yes, I will hunt and search the ends of the earth for it. So it's just kind of what are they taking now that it's gonna transcend 20 years from now that goes with them.
Yeah.
What about you, Ellie? What about you?
I think that games like I just had it on the tip of my Roblox.
Oh yeah.
I think those kind of games where it's like imitation to some of these bigger ones have changed it so much because it has kind of split the audience for some of these games, and there's merch for all of those.
Yep.
For all of those Roblox games, for all of those
there's so many offshoots of Roblox too. There's Piggy.
Yeah.
There's like.
So I think that that's going to create a bigger demand for it later when they're like, okay, we remember the big ones, but just like any movie, when you find those side characters that weren't mass
I was just
produced,
going to mention that. Yeah.
I think that something is going to happen in that area where those one-off games that maybe weren't huge, but still had merch. I think they'll come around, and I think they always will.
Here's my answer to this question, and Ellie kind of talked about it a bit. Is I'm already seeing it actually. So one of the benefits of being a software engineer, I do a lot of predictive analysis. So I think there's going to be the sub characters that are going to be the ones, regardless of what it is. So pick a toy, right? Toy line, and find the exclusives, the Target exclusives, the Walgreens exclusives, the ones that are harder to find that they only made a few of. Like when you get to the exclusive brands, find the side characters within that. We're seeing it with Bluey right now. Bluey was hot over Christmas. It was one of the top 5, I think, toys of the season.
Wow.
So some of the side characters like Muffin, and there's a few others. I don't know all their names, but those side characters that you're finding are harder to find because they are very sought after right now. But we're going to see, we call it signal and noise in the business. You're going to start seeing market stuff that's coming through. You're going to see a lot of it because it's mass produced. What you want to do is look past the Bluey and Bingo and move towards the Muffin and the other stuff. That's just one example. So I think every toy and every line has that, right?
Yep.
So that's differentiation between the two. You kind of have to do a little bit of research in there. I know nothing about Bluey, but I do know that when I see this little white dog, I know that's harder to find than the blue and the orange one. You know,
Well, it's like I go down the
probably not
toy
even
aisle.
muffins. So.
Every time I go to a Walmart, Target, wherever, I go to the toy aisle and I just walk.
Yeah.
And they had all the Masters of the Universe stuff that they re-released, over the last 5 years or whatever. And you go down that aisle and you see, I'm gonna exaggerate. You see 10,000 He-Man, you see 10,000 Skeletor, and then you see 3 Panther, and you see 3. I grabbed every, like you said, that was my test. Like that, I grabbed every single one of the other characters because the 2 middle rows were nothing but He-Man and Skeletor, and then there was a couple. So mass produced. Not mass produced, not nearly.
They don't make as many because they don't sell as well because they're not the main character of the story, which kind of makes sense, right? The kid wants to be that main character. They want to live out that main character in their whatever play fantasy or whatever it is. They don't want to be that little Snorlax or whatever the hell that guy's name was on.
They don't want to be.
They don't want to be that guy, right? But that's the guy that's gonna.
I wanted to be Orko. I wanted to be Orko bad.
I mean, was that his name, Orko?
Yeah.
The little magician guy. Yep.
The little magician guy. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But then who's the? Oh, what's his name from Thundercats? There's a sandwich shop named after him.
Oh
Snarf.
yeah. Snarf,
yes, Snarf, yes. And he's hard to find. I mean, prime example. It's hard. I've seen some Snarf plush, and I was like, OMG. But yeah.
You're 100% right, though. That's 100% how the collector thinks. If it's all about the rarity of it, and there's 10 million He-Mans, there's 100,000 Orcos out there. Well, I want an Orco because everybody has a He-Man, but not everybody has an Orco. That's generic numbers, but you're 100% right. That's how the sports cards are the same way. That's why the sports cards and even collectible TC, trading card game cards, the ones that are numbered one of whatever, those are that's what everybody wants because they know there's only 10.
How Wheels is doing with chases, right? They make a limited run of a certain one, and there's only so many in a case, and make it desirable for collectors and also resellers, right?
Yeah, forget about the kids.
No treasure. You don't get to have this toy today. This was $500 on eBay.
Right.
But anyways, yeah. So I think that says a lot about what market trends are going to be in the next couple. Even now, current. We'll talk about now, and then think about this 20 years from now. It's so sought after and collected now. How much more so in 10 years?
And here's the other thing. I don't think it's going to be 20 years. It's going to be 5 years and 10 years. And we're going to see it in waves because of the way that media is and the way that social media is and the movies that are being brought out. Anytime you see the movie brought out, the sequel or whatever, you're seeing that wave, that influx of that.
Like when Zootopia came out, our Zootopia sales went up.
Yeah.
So follow that. That's a good point.
Social media waves are such a quick hit though. Like it's here.
You got to be really on it. Yeah.
What are those Labubu Fufu thing? Like that was so here and there.
The
What are they called? Labubus or
Labubu?
I found
that wave hit and left so fast.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Squishmallows. Everybody wanted. Now you can't even give one away.
That's because the stuff that's driven by social media. I mean, it's literally like.
COVID had people in their fields, man. All they wanted to do is like squish a Squishmallow for some reason. Like, I want to be comforted by this squishy thing. So, and then all of a sudden, it's just like.
I don't think I've ever resold a Squishmallow. I'm pretty proud of that.
I wish I didn't.
I was about to say.
I have an entire treasure trove of Squishmallows. When they come back, they're going to make a comeback, just like Beanie Babies.
Just wait.
They're right next to the Beanie Babies that you bought.
Talk about a bad investment. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, I have sold Funko Pops though.
Yeah, I mean, Funko is struggling right now. Let's talk about it. Right, the company itself, their last report that they put out wasn't good. They're like, hey, listen, we're gonna might be closing the doors if things don't change.
Oh, but
what does that look like?
If they do, then the
I don't know. I'm not saying that that's going to be worth anything. Maybe people are going to purge at first, and there's going to be a lot of it out there. and then you got to pick and choose. It comes down to like content, right? So you're looking at the He-Man Funkos, you're looking at the, your certain ones in the series.
There's
Not all of them are good,
everything, right?
but
Well,
if you
there's
can
cases
find
of
those
those too,
niche
right?
down, like I sell a lot of them on Whatnot.
Mhm.
And I think what it is like True Blood. It's like series of them, things like that, where it's like niche down to a point where like,
Got them right up here.
so yeah, she got Funkos up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so we're getting to the end of the podcast, Jimmy. We want to thank you for being on. Some final words that you have for the people, Jimmy. The people want to hear what you have to say.
Have fun doing, like, enjoy it. Focus on the positivity. Have fun. Just try to avoid all the negative content creators and comments. Don't get sucked into all the comments on social media.
Don't get filtered and bucketed, is what Jimmy's saying.
And have a good work ethic. That's one of the key things to be a successful reseller is have a good work ethic. Like, just stay. You don't have to stay. You don't have to be the fastest worker. Just stay busy. Just stay. If you find yourself staring at social media all day, put the phone down and go stay busy. Just work. Have a good work ethic. That's all you need. You don't have to be the best at this. You just have to have a good work ethic. You have to stay busy.
You
don't have to be
sleep,
fast.
and breathe it. What's good about reselling, I find, Jimmy, is that when you're passionate about something, all those hours you put into it don't feel like the hours
At all.
So,
75%.
and that's the key, I think, to anything, is finding your passion and driving towards that. And if you show that in your work ethic, like you were saying, there's success right around the corner for you.
Yep.
We're going to leave it there, Jimmy. We appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, we want to remind you guys, if you can't be good at it. We'll catch you on the next one. Jimmy, stick around. We want to talk to you in just a second. Okay?
Yep.
All right, guys. Bye.